All right, back to finish off talking about the Hunter succession arc. My God. We gotta start with the princes of who everyone is, and I was, again, as I mentioned in my last video, I was really surprised with how much I liked each individual prince for the majority of them, like, right away. Like, we were introduced to a lot of characters, and I grew attached to them pretty quickly. The first being Benjamin, who, as the first prince, the eldest, he was introduced, like, wrestling a lion. Now, I'm pretty sure he already knew about Nen and had some amount of Nen abilities from the beginning, before the succession arc took place. But I don't think he was using any kind of Nen when fighting the lion. At least that's kind of what's implied. And he's very strong. He's in charge of the military. He has snuck his own army, private military group to each of the other princes, as like a spy to possibly take them down or assassinate them. The succession arc is supposed to be done in like secret, so they're supposed to be very subtle. You can't get charged with killing your siblings, so don't get caught doing it. Have a plausible deniability. So he sends like his guards in to assassinate the 14th prince and be like, oh, it was self-defense. Your guards turned on my guard and he had to protect himself. And really, because now my guard's the only one left alive to tell the story, what actually happened was his mother ended up doing murder-suicide or something like that. That was probably the plan. But Kurapika ended up killing the guard, well, neutralizing the guard, who then took a poison pill. So, I like how it's like, yes, the goal is to murder all your siblings. That is this contest. But you gotta be within the law, so don't get caught. And I feel like the don't getting caught is an important part of it, because it's to be, like, determine the next king, the heir to the throne, and the king is probably going to have to do some shady stuff and not get caught, not be in the public eye because of this. So I guess it is a good test for who's going to be the next king. But the first prince really wants to kill the fourth prince, which is the psychopath who is my favorite. And their rivalry back and forth, like, oh, don't you die because I'm going to be the one to kill you, conversation on the phone, was a good way to introduce him. I also really like, I'm pretty sure he's the first prince, who has the ability to take others' abilities if they were loyal to him. So his security task force, bodyguards, whatever, are very loyal to him. And when they die or are killed or something happens, a little star appears on his hand and he gets that ability. So he's using this little owl that he got from somebody else to spy on his siblings and making sure that kept second prince, who is one of my favorites as well, mostly for style and just, God almighty, her personality, who she walked in trying, I'm pretty sure she was after him. They all kind of look the same after a while. She was trying to kill the prince after telling her mother to kill a different prince who happens to be her full brother. Like, yeah, kill your other child because I told you to. And mom's just like, I really don't want to do that. It's like, you're going to do that. Okay, I'll do that. The second prince goes off to kill, I'm pretty sure it's the first prince. And his bodyguard ends up shooting and killing her. And it's like, I had no choice, act in self-defense. I guess this worked out well for us. She is then resurrected by her ability, which activates upon her death, kills the one who killed her, and then revives her. And I adore that. And it's really going to something that's being repeated throughout this arc, and that is Nen's abilities after death. I already talked about Hisoka, how he was resurrected by his Nen ability after his own death. If your conviction is strong enough, it can persist onwards. So her ability activating after death is interesting. I also feel that there's something going on with the king, because, I think it was like the 12th prince ends up getting strangled, and we see her put in a coffin, and there's like 13 or 14. Yeah, there are 14 coffins. She's put in one of them. There are 14 siblings. There's supposed to be one survivor. So either A, all of them are going to die, B, the king will die to fill the fourth coffin, or C, the survivor will get in one of the coffins and absorb all the positive elements, all the Nen beasts that are still connected to the bodies. Something will happen and they will all go fuse to the center there and gains abilities to make the perfect heir or king. And whether or not the king is going to kill all his children and take that ability for himself, I don't know. But there's something going on because we have too many coffins if one's supposed to survive. Where was I? Oh, speaking of abilities continuing after death, Kurapika, we see one of his new powers is the dolphin that takes other people's Nen abilities and allows him to give Nen abilities to other people. It requires taking of his own lifespan. So for every second that it's activated, he loses, was it a day of life? And at the end, he's had it activate for like 12 hours. So he's lost nearly like 5 years of his own lifespan. So I'm wondering, we got the Phantom Troop on the boat with us. His rage and need for revenge would definitely be something that can persist after death. So if he were to die, granted, he did sort of consider using the dolphin thing for like a full week to pass, but he's like, no, I wouldn't live long enough, but he'd considered it for like half a second. So I'm wondering if something will happen that if he actually dies, that ability, that rage, that will, fueled by his Nen, would bring him back in a manner to continue hunting the Phantom Troop, to continue hunting the fourth prince who has the remainder of his clan's eyes, to not rest until all the body parts are returned to his home. I can see that being a way we can go. And if Kurapika comes back like Lady Stoneheart vibes, seeking revenge, that would be brutal and I want it, but I don't want him to die because he's my favorite. Speaking of the second prince, back to her, she has a connection with this group that, again, got references to, like, life after death, where their people, like the have-nots, are used to be killed / buried with fallen princes, so their souls did not curse the current king. And that custom was eliminated, but now they are very loyal to her, as they weren't allowed to be any kind of military political faction. She gave them purpose as her own armed security guards, and have them curse the other princes. So again, another reference to a need to protect people from getting vengeance after death. Zhang Lei is the third prince. I really like him. So one of Kurapika's prince's maids was terrified of him when he should not have been on the priority list of who should get a phone call. There's like 3 people on the line at the same time. And Kurapika's like, by custom, we need to take the first prince's call. He's more important. But she put the third prince on instead because it's like, listen, the first prince is probably going to kill us no matter. This man will go after us, our family, everything. I choose life of my own self. You're talking to him first. And he is at least reasonable. So I like him. Is he one that has... Yeah, I think he's one that also has connections with the mafia that are allowing passages between the tiers of the boat. There's like 5 levels of the boat. And his Nen Beast thing is this big wheel chakra thing that is producing coins. And the coins number goes up with time. And supposedly... Now, the prince thinks it's going to have an effect after he becomes king, because he's the type of person that will rely on his own power to get there, and his focus will be on what he will do afterwards. So he thinks these coins will be beneficial in the future once he is already king, but not the path to get him to become king. And apparently, when a condition is met, the coin will do something. And I'm really excited to see what happens to these coins, because one of his bodyguards took the first coin and didn't tell anybody because it's producing like a coin a day. So the second coin was given to a different bodyguard and told it was the first coin. I wonder if that will come into play. Now, fourth prince, favorite psychopath, has the ability to see 10 seconds into the future. So when his bodyguard / Nen teacher shot him, because they recognize that he is a psychopath and he's a specialist, and if he continues to grow at this rate with his Nen abilities, he will be an even greater monster. So save the world by putting a bullet between his eyes is a good idea. He's seen that happen, reacted, moved out of the way, shocked that she would do such a thing, watched himself die, and then, actually didn't really watch himself die, whatever. The scene played out as she's seen the version of reality where she did shoot him and he didn't react to those 10 seconds. He's seeing that, and then all of a sudden we're into regular time, and she's staring at the ground. There's no body. He's standing behind her like, very good with that gun, testing my Zetsu abilities to keep, using that and that distracts me. Yeah, that's definitely what you were planning, right? And it's a delight. He is terrifying, and he has the most broken ability. He will be unstoppable if he masters the Zetsu technique. I don't know what's going to happen with him. And then the beast thing is like marking her. Like, if you continue to lie or betray the prince, you will become no longer human. And it's a delight. It's wonderful. I hate him, but he's good. He's a good villain. Fifth prince we don't really care about yet. Some medicine, poison, something. She ordered an attack on a younger brother. I don't think it worked. The sixth prince, Tyson, I like her. I didn't think I would. So she chooses her bodyguards based on how they look. She wants to be surrounded by basically a boy band. And she's in love with the idea of love and wanting everyone to love each other. And it's like, oh, what's my spirit beast look like? It must be an angel. No, it's more like fairies. And it's this weird thing spitting out these weird looking things that you could probably describe as fairies. And I figured she'd be very selfish kind of character, very self-absorbed, but she's not. She actually just thinks she can change the world by making everyone love each other. And her ability is basically the more people read this book she wrote, the more they will empathize with her and be loyal to her. Loyalty is a big thing. And again, you think she'd be selfish. No, one of her bodyguards is, we're going to reach the Dark Continent or something like that. Your contract's going to be over before your birthday, so let's celebrate your birthday now. She's just sweet. She's a little kid. She doesn't want violence. I don't know why she's participating in these games. She really shouldn't. She doesn't really have a choice. She's too little for it. I kind of like her. I don't want to see her die, but I can see her dying very, very shortly. Seventh Prince, another connection to the Mafia. He hasn't really done that much. It's the one the other prince put a hit on. He's still alive. Connection to the Mafia. Something about he smokes a lot and could be good for drug rehabilitation. But his first prince brother probably wouldn't like that. And his salamander-looking monster thing apparently can set traps by making you see or get whatever it is you want, and then it springs the trap, and I'm excited to see that in effect. Then you have Salé-salé, I think is how it's said. Don't really know, don't really care. He's dead. He was like the womanizer one, always shown in bed with a bunch of girls around him, but I was kind of interested to see where his story would go, and it's kind of why I'm hoping that that bunch of caskets and all the things connected with some Nen writing, whatever, is going to take his abilities to give to somebody else. Because he had this coughing-looking smoke cloud thing spewing smoke everywhere. And the more you breathed it in, the more you became loyal to him. Again, loyalty is a big thing with these Nen beasts. These Nen beasts are made to protect him, the spirit beast, whatever you want to call them. And he was talking about how if he went to this banquet, he would have some kind of speech that would change the world. And I'm happy he's gone, but I kind of think he could have been really interesting to see more of how he influenced those around him and got people on his side. Despite him being disgusting, for him to have a strong manipulation tactic would have been even cooler. Now, the ninth prince is really where I started getting even more invested. This is the one where the second prince is her full brother, I'm pretty sure, and she wanted to have her mother kill him. I think I'm remembering that right. But it doesn't really matter, because he is in the front running in terms of support to win this throne. Not that it really matters too much, because you got to kill everybody. But he's, like, pacifist, doesn't want the throne through bloodshed, tries to back out and say, I resign, I only joined this competition for you to save face, father. I do not want a crown this way. I want to withdraw from the competition. And father's just like, yeah, sure, that's fine. And I'm just like, you can't do that, because second prince comes up and is just like, what does it mean to withdraw? And he's just like, listen, the surviving prince will be the one to inherit the throne. Interpret that how you want. And I'm going with no one is going to survive. There will be no survivor, and he's just going to take all their powers. Doesn't matter. Ninth prince, Halkenburg? I can't names. Ends up going to try to speak to his father again to end the competition. And he brings a letter, because he's not allowed to see his father outside the banquets. And the armed guards, with their guns out to him, said, nope, you can't get any closer, go away. And he keeps coming back day after day, trying to speak to his father, trying to convince him, as the pacifist good boy that he is, to end the competition. And eventually the guards get so used to him showing up, they don't raise their guns when he approached. They're just kind of relaxed because what's he going to do? What's he going to do? What he's going to do is take all them hostage, take a gun to put to his father's head, and it's just like, if you won't end this, I will kill you. And it's just like, shoot me. I'm not ending this competition. It can't be stopped. He shoots his father, but the Nendis grabs the bullet to protect him, and his father's like, listen, the individual prince does not matter. The only thing that matters is the people of our country, and they need a strong prince to lead them. If you want to end this competition, then become the king and put a stop to it yourself. And he decides to actually participate in this competition fully. And there's some feathers on the hands and those loyal to him, and it spikes in Nen abilities whenever they're all working together, and being able to switch minds. And he has decided now to fully take part in this competition to kill his siblings, despite him being the good brother. But the 10th and 11th princes were my absolute favorite. I say were because the 10th has died and my heart hurts for her. I love a selfish character. I really, really do. And she is this bratty little girl who is completely full of herself, arrogant, whatever, only for it all to be a ruse. That she would choose her younger twin's life over hers, over her those that work for her. She cares so much about their life, and this is all an act of facade for the role that she has been thrust into, for the pressures put upon her. It's all an act in disguise, and she and her younger twin sister is trying to escape. So the 10th and the 11th princes have a plan to escape the ship and run away together to get away. And they have this ability that works together. So younger twin can open a door that leads to a location, and older twin controls the return door. And they're trying to get off the ship. Melody, who is mesmerizing everyone with her flute playing, puts everyone in a trance, so they run away during one of the banquets, and one of their butler, servant, bodyguard guy gets them to like a submarine, gets them off, and he ends up killing himself, so he will take the fall for this escape. He's already lost his family. He's been looking for a good place to die anyway, and he just wants to help these two girls who love each other get away and live a good life. So he dies thinking he saved them, which is tragic, because as they're about to escape, these hands come out from them, and only the elder twin is really able to see it, and she just knows something is wrong. If they were to leave the boat, something terrible will happen. So she orders the door to open to return back, or for younger twin to open the doors to get them away from here. And we think younger twin gets through the door, older twin comes in too. We think they're safe, they're together. But no, older twin has died. She is dead in the submarine looking thing when it left the ship. She did not make it back. Her net ability activated, which will take the form of whichever twin doesn't survive to travel and be with and protect the surviving twin under the guise and appearance of the one who died. It's tragic. I love it. I'm so upset she's gone. So, 11th prince, she's much kinder, quiet, reserved. I need her to survive this. For the sake of her older sister who loved her and gave her life protecting her, I need her to survive the succession arc. I don't know if she's going to be king, but I need her to survive this. 12th prince gets strangled in her sleep by her own bodyguard for favor to whoever will eventually win, and this is witnessed by our 14th prince's mother, and she freaks out because she actually cares about these kids, does not want this to happen, and tried to stop it and failed, and she's freaking out because she couldn't have done more. So that's very sad, and it shows that she's a good person, and she gets angry at the bodyguards who's like, why do you care if a different prince dies? Like, how could you ask me why I care? What kind of person are you to say, why don't you care? Or why would you care that a child has just been strangled? 13th prince is just like a little kid. That was his sister who just died. His Nem beast takes a new form and grows after the death of his sister. And to protect the child with zero influence politically, has created like a pocket dimension of the bedroom. So if you leave, you can't come back in. It just looks like an empty room. So that's how they're keeping him safe. I don't know how anyone's going to get to him, but I also don't know how they're getting food to him. Is he okay? And then you have Woble, something like that, the 14th prince that Kurapika is protecting. The second Kurapika held this baby, it's just like, oh, sweet boy, of course I'll keep you safe, keep you alive. Love him. Sweet darling. Love him. I also think it's implied that he has some kind of Nen ability that allows him to sense danger, as he's often crying before an assassin comes to kill him or those around him. So definitely an ability to sense danger. That's pretty much all we got with him, as most of the focus again is with the mother, as he's an infant. But what I mentioned before with the mafias, they are run by the bastard children, illegitimate children with scar markings either on their face somewhere to indicate that they're not in the running for the throne. And they have like a three-way piece in terms of if one attacks the other, that's going to injure two, one will fall, you're going to be weakened, the third will sweep in and take you out. So we're all in a stalemate here. Except the one that was working with the fourth prince is just like, screw it, I want to see the world burn. Has broken the truce and is like attacking everybody. And her power is like a virus, and I adore it. So she awakens the ability in somebody. If they kill somebody, they go up a level. If they kill someone with Nen, they go up 10 levels. If they kill a prince, they go up like 50 levels, something like that. And they unlock more powers. And then if they reach level 100, they can do the same thing she can and pass this power along. At 20, they get their own Nen ability, and it's about to tear down the entire ship. And it's wonderful. She is just chaotic. So the other two members of the Mafia want to take her out. They've employed the Phantom Troops. Somebody's just like, listen, Hisoka, we need them to take out her first. So can you kind of stay in hiding so they don't lose interest in helping us and end up fighting you instead, please? And Hisoka's just like, nah, I want to make chaos. So we'll see. It's all a delight. There's a Nen user for the Mafia. I'm pretty sure she's dead, but she controls the bodies of people who've been killed to kind of get them out of the way, to hide the bodies, to hide from police kind of thing. So that's another ability activating after death. I'm going with that. I'm really loving all the powers of this arc. Kurapika is giving Nen lessons because he's going with the same idea of the Mafia. Stalemate. We're all on equal playing fields. No one has more information than the other. We're less likely to kill each other unnecessarily for information. So he's sharing his information about Nen, and he's training the bodyguards of other princes in hoping of gaining favor, hopefully putting them all on the same field. So they're not going to kill his prince, basically. And it's a delight, obviously. I like how they're activating the Nen abilities. So he's taking the enhancer power from his co-bodyguard to give to the person that needs to awaken their Nen abilities, using its enhancer power in the glass with a little seed that will grow. And then when he removes the powers, they've already now awakened the Nen ability. And it's just really, really good. Oh, I had mentioned previously about Neo's ability being removed from Chrollo's book, and it was pointed out in the comments that it's actually implied that Hisoka killed her, as well as that's why he killed the remote guy and the creepy hair lady, because their powers, the dark voice and replicating clone ability, was what Chrollo used in the fight to beat him. So maybe he's targeting the abilities in the book to go after Chrollo again. And I love this idea. It makes perfect sense. But I'm wondering, would that be in tune with Hisoka's character? Because he refused to fight Chrollo when he had no Nen abilities, because he wanted an all-out fight. But the fight in Heaven's Arena thing, it was like they had too much prep time, and he was perfectly able to take down Hisoka. So would he consider this just a continuation of their fight? Okay, I'm still alive. This was a fight to the death. We didn't end it, even though he did technically die. So now he's continuing the fight by targeting his abilities? Or would he want to fight Chrollo again at his absolute peak? So why would he take his abilities away from him that he has the ability to use in the book? Not sure. I lean towards it was Hisoka wanting to target those abilities to have a different fight, because it's not like he stayed on shore and killed off everyone else that he knows ability is in that book. He's like, all right, you're not doing the same thing to me again, come up with a different plan on the fly. So I'm going with that's kind of his vibe. I'm sure I'm missing things in terms of the specifics of what's happening. Illumi and Kulula's little brother, is, I think, on deck 3 right now, and the Zodiacs were just like, you're here? Yeah, us along with all the other spiders. All the spiders are here? Yes, Illumi, stop telling them everything. Oh, right, I should stop talking. Sorry, I just naturally tell people everything they want to know because it doesn't really matter if they have a bunch of information. I can kill them anyway. I'm just that good of an assassin. Did I mention I love him? But now they have to get a room on the 3rd floor if they want to hang out there. The Zodiacs are keeping an eye on them, and they're not sure if they want to tell Killua. Sorry, if they don't know if they want to tell Kurapika. Oh, and Kurapika finds out that the Phantom Troop are on board. All bets are off. I'm so excited. Would he compromise Woble, the 14th Prince's safety for the sake of going after the Phantom Troop? Yes, he would. But I think his conscience will eventually kick in and realize he has to protect the kid. I want to know what happens when we get to the Dark Continent. There's these gatekeepers, apparently. Is a sacrifice going to be needed to enter the Dark Continent? What is with those coffins? I'm going with it's the king going to absorb all his children or something and gain immortality or something like that. Take their lifespan. I don't know. Can we get the next chapter, please? Pretty please. All right, that is all I got. I will talk to you later, and I guess I'm now just waiting for Hunter x Hunter's new chapters, which apparently will be out this year, next year, soonish. We'll see. All right, bye.